Ohio State wrapped up practice number 5 on Tuesday. I'm Stephen Means. That's Andrew Gillis. We didn't watch that practice, but we did talk with the quarterbacks shortly after that practice. That's Chip Kelly, offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. That's Will Howard, Julian Sand, Devin Brown, Aaron Nolan, and Lincoln Keenholz. Andrew, we've watched a couple of practices now, but we've also just talked about it in gist of they brought Will Howard in as a transfer veteran quarterback who has started somewhere else, and it seems like over the first 4 days it's been very clear that he's starting to assert himself. Whether he separated himself or not, it seems like he's starting to assert himself, and he's getting most of the one reps. We talked with Chip Kelly. Why has Ohio State not named Will Howard starting quarterback yet?
Well, I think there's a couple things. Well, first off, if you listen to Chip Kelly, he said that you never know, that we could see Will Howard working at the ones, but you never know, the next day he could be working with the threes. We'll see. I'm not sure about that one. So I think there's a couple things to this. Like I said, I think the number one thing is you want to let this play out a little bit because Will Howard is new. We got to remember this. Will Howard, for as much as he is coming in with college accolades and college experience and just a veteran knowledge of the game, he is new to this program. And we saw in the spring, it took him some time. So I don't think what you saw from February, March, and April is enough to be like, that guy right now, August 1st, he's our guy, right? This isn't a CJ Stroud situation. I think you want to make him earn it a little bit. I think you want to let this play out a little bit just so he can earn that job. But I think the other thing too, what if Devin Brown just came in and kicked butt? Like, what if Devin Brown just came in and was awesome? Or what if the light clicked on for Julian Sand over the summer and now all of a sudden Julian is right there with Will Howard? And I just think playing this out for a little bit is not the worst thing in the world because it is Tuesday, August 6th as we do this. You don't play Akron for 25 days, and it's Akron, with all due respect to the Zips, and then it's Western Michigan, you have a bye week, and then it's Marshall. You have some time to play this out. You don't need to have a quarterback right now. I think maybe if we were having this conversation last year, there'd be a little bit more urgency. You opened it a Big Ten opponent on the road against Indiana. And I understand Indiana's not exactly world beaters, but it's still a Big Ten opponent in your first game of the year. You had Notre Dame at the end of the first month. It felt like you needed to have things ready to go really quickly. This year, I don't think that's the case. You have a new starting quarterback or a presumed new starting quarterback. I don't think it hurts to let things play out and just kind of make him earn it.
With Justin Fields, it took 19 days into fall camp for Ryan Day to name him the starting quarterback. With C.J. Stroud, it took 17 days, I believe, or it might have been flipped around. But to your point of letting it play out a little bit, those were both after scrimmages. Their first scrimmage is not this Saturday. It's this Saturday, actually. This is their first scrimmage. Let's see how many scrimmages they go through before they name Will Howard the starting quarterback. Will was talking a little bit about his transformation as Ohio State's Ohio State's quarterback. He's not the starter yet. He said he showed up at 249. And he's down to 235. He called it portal weight because he was sitting around in the portal waiting on Ohio State to give him the go-ahead that he can come here. But just from first practice of spring to first practice of fall camp, there has been a bit of growth and just maturation. And he said learning fast, having to pick things up much quicker than he would have if he was a true freshman at Kansas State, being in the background in that situation. So I think you're right. Let it play out. As Chip Kelly kind of said, they're still doing a split field thing in this situation, not really running completely ones and twos yet. They put the shoulder pads on. They're not full pads on yet. This is a conversation where I said August 15th on the pod. I think that would be the key date for them. It's after the first scrimmage. And so you'll see what you need to see. To your point, maybe Devin Brown and Julian Sand show some things as well. But I think August 15th, if I had to mark it down, August 15th is when we find out who Ohio State's starting quarterback is. That's Andrew Gillis. I'm Stephen Means. Get the text 614-350-3315 and go listen to podcasts. Well, listen to Buckeye Talk wherever you find podcasts. We'll continue to talk about that there.